Alright, what's up, y'all? It's Cannon. So, Devin Haney responds to, Lomachenko calling them out. And shoot, quote unquote, as they say, are they going to let you out the house? Are they going to let you fight? Devin, are they going to let you fight the dream? Are they going to let you fight the dream? The dream is the best, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I see why not. I mean, they're talking to each other like this Kambosos fight ain't even happening, and I wouldn't be surprised either. He dominated Kambosos pretty handily, man. Yep. Kambosos is a lineal champion, right? Wait, no. Devin Haney is a lineal champion now, I think, because he beat the guy who beat the guy who beat the guy who beat the guy. So that's how the lineal champion works. So I think he does have the lineal title. The right man has a lineal title this time. This undisputed unification thing was sort of underwhelming because a lot of the fighters didn't fight each other. I know Kambosos was an undefeated fighter, but also Kambosos also was someone who wasn't that popular. He wasn't as popular as any of these other undefeated fighters. So it's not like him being undefeated and him being someone who was seen in the ranks is also an example of fighters fighting one another. But as much as I could say that too, he's not a part of the Teofimo Lopez, the Ryan Garcia, the Devin Haney, the Gervonta Tank Davis group, in my opinion, because he wasn't popular. Nobody really wanted to see him. People in Australia maybe wanted to see him because in Australia, they have never had a significant champion like this in a long time. I'm pretty sure that some of the last ones aren't. I don't even remember, to be honest. There were some though, for sure. One I do know is Anthony Mundine, who was a very popular fighter in Australia. And I think, what's that guy's name? Lucas Brown. Isn't Lucas Brown popular in Australia too? I'm not sure. But I do know Lucas Brown did have an upset. He did win an upset victory against Junior Fall, which is a very good win. Very good win. I would have never expected him to knock Junior Fall out that early and that quickly. But even still, good for him. And look, Vasily Lomachenko, the fighter, the man, the two-time Olympian himself, does he really want that smoke? If he does, I guarantee he does now. But at one point he emailed the belt to Devin Haney. He emailed that WBC belt, literally, bro. Oh my gosh, man! Literally after he got the WBC, WBO, and WBA from Luke Campbell, right, who was also an Olympic gold medalist himself. He decided to, I'm gonna give this belt to Devin Haney because I don't want to fight him, and I could have the franchise. Or wait, who had the franchise? Was it Lomachenko or I think Lomachenko had I think Devin Haney had the franchise, right? It's so confusing. I don't get it. But anyways, Lomachenko had the actual had the fake title, and Devin Haney had the real one. I'm just gonna put it at that. Even if it was technically seen as the opposite made by the commission, but still. And Tio wanted to keep claiming that he was this undisputed fighter when he wasn't. It was ridiculous, man. But against Luke Campbell, after that fight and after his dominant victory against Luke Campbell, for that matter, he vacates the title in order to fight Teofimo Lopez because Devin Haney was seen as more of a threat than Teofimo. Number two, Teofimo only had 15 wins at that point. His record was not extensive at all. He had no extensive record. But the fact that he became a champion at 14-0, he became a champion at 15-0, which is very impressive. That's for sure. He was definitely that's definitely something that a lot of champions didn't do in these divisions at this time. Like Devin Haney didn't do that. Ryan Garcia, none of those fighters did it at such an early record. I understand that Teofimo Lopez is about a year or two older than both of them, but even still, like, that's very impressive. And as for let me rephrase it. And as for Kambosos, like, his career is kind of gonna be in the shadows if he loses a second fight, and I guarantee he will. The only way for him to come back after these two losses to this elite undisputed fighter is to just beat a contender or beat someone who was seen as promising. I would not put him against anyone at the top level, not even Teofimo in a rematch. Looking at that fight, though, I will say Teofimo did not belong, or at least like Teofimo did not really belong with a fighter who was that agile as a Kambosos. Like, Kambosos was someone who seemed too quick and too flexible for Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo looked slow in that fight. He looked very slow. He looked like he was he looked like he was 5 divisions above, and Kambosos was just hitting him with stringy shots the entire time. Kambosos seemed the more coordinated. And secondly, too, the thing that Lee Selby had that Teofimo Lopez didn't. Lee Selby was already a smaller fighter who came up in division, so he already probably had like the speed advantage against most of 135 because he was a smaller guy who was coming up in a weight class. And secondly, he was quicker. He was quicker than a Lopez, but he didn't hit as hard, but he for sure could fight. They both could fight against smaller fighters and probably match them in exchanges. Like, I don't think Teofimo Lopez can match a smaller fighter in a smaller division in exchanges in terms of speed. That doesn't mean like he didn't lose fair and square, because he did. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, there's this more smaller, more coordinated fighter. How am I going to beat Kambosos? Now, he could have used a jab, could have handled it with a jab. I feel like he could have handled this situation using a jab and boxing more intelligent. But even with that lack of speed disadvantage and the coordination disadvantage that I thought I saw against Kambosos and him, he won't have to deal with that at 140, because at 140 pounds, fighters are more big. Fighters are more big and they're more slow, and they aren't as quick. You know, you don't have to worry about them hopping under your shots and being like super slippery necessarily. They could be slippery big guys, but it's not the same. It's definitely not the same, you know. The speed advantage or the speed disadvantage that was once there with you being in a smaller weight class will no longer be there, because of how big naturally 140 pound, or because of how naturally big 140 pounders are. So it'll be easier for you to land shots on them. Be able for you to like match their speed, match their coordination, and the fights will be a lot more. You'll be able to handle fights in a more easy fashion. Now, the only issue though is Lopez's power is undecided at 140. Now, he hurt Petro Campo, you know, he hurt him a couple of times, man, a lot of times, and he even ended the fight with a stoppage. But when it comes to that matchup, or when it comes to these other fighters in this division, including Petro Campo, like, did that really show how strong Lopez was in this division? I'm not sure. One person who I'm really confident will have a lot of power at 140 is Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia is going to have crazy power because of the pop in his punches. And Lomachenko should move up to 140. All right. Thank you guys for watching. All right. I hope you liked the video. All right. Y'all have a good day. And I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So can y'all please subscribe? Thank you so much. Goodbye.